She was drunk. No. No, miss me with that. Oh, it's HIPAA laws. I can't tell anybody. Is there a benefit for you to find her guilty of something? Is that a conflict of interest? Should senators be able to trade stocks in a thing that they're about to go regulate? Can your girl get a sniff? What is going on, internet, and welcome to another Officers React. We are going to be writing solo, unfortunately, because we do not have Bill, but we did not want to keep you guys waiting, so we are giving you Season 2, Episode 8 of The Rookie. I'm wearing some more merch. Shout out to producer Juan, who has got some really cool stuff. If you want to know what the shirt says, apparently this is a joke. Apparently I'll get it later. Producer Juan cheated ahead of time. Rest Me Makes It Sexy sounds like a nicotine commercial, but we'll see how this goes.
Everybody, let's go.
All right. Last one. As much as I like watching you load the truck, I've got some studying I gotta do.
And by studying, you mean?
Watching Lady and the Tramp with Abigail.
Oh.
We do the whole...
I'm not against product placement, but it was weird because he definitely drove a Ford, like an older F-150. That one got machine gunned, and I guess, he's making that LAPD money. Get yourself a Tundra, take a trucks, get a little V8 action. I'm not saying you wouldn't have to put it in tow mode when you're not towing anything, because sand can be heavy. Obviously, lumber can get heavy. But if you're not towing a trailer, because typically it's for brakes and that they're gearing it a little differently, whatever. Toyota execs, correct me in the comment section below, or subcontractors. I'll just leave it in that. I'm sure the V8 on a Tundra is plenty to move. If it fits in the bed, you should be fine. But shout out, that was a strong product placement.
Nothing else in this entire show is lit like that.
Like it was like that. Like Toyota came in, filmed it, and then went away like a thief in the night. Also, they just had Nathan Fillion. Throwing it back for that. You know what I mean? They're like, we're gonna do a little bit of hard working man porn here. You know what I mean? Like.
Thanks for coming in on your day off.
No problem. I'm excited to get started on my special assignment.
It's not a special assignment, it's a mandatory callback.
Oh. I may have renamed that in my head. What happened here?
It's a homicide and a brutal one. At least 2 assailants and the victim was a lawyer.
So lots of suspects.
1 for now. Building security guard. He's in the wind.
Maynard gets. Want me to put out an APB?
It's already done. Just sit here and guard. Any detectives come back, make them sign in. Keep 1 boot in the tape. Dispatch will call you as soon as detectives say you can release the scene.
And when will that be?
Hour, 2.
A bigger lie has not been said in this show ever, of all time, ever. 1 to 2 hours for a crime scene log on a homicide? Just for the crime scene text to get done, like hours. Because they're thorough. They got to be, right? And LAPD probably has the closest thing to high-speed, low-drag crime scene operators, like in America, if not the planet. And that's before detectives get there. The detectives are going to high-speed, low-drag operate it after that, I think the shortest crime scene log I ran was like 4 hours. And that's because I handed it off to somebody after that. So, on a mandatory callback, that is a bad time. Especially as an overtime shift. It's going to be an easy shift because literally it's just like, here, you stepped in the crime scene at this time, at this time. Then you left at this time, at this time. It's to observe CCP and to make sure the chain of custody is not broken by anything that's there on the actual scene itself. So. Stop. No. Who steams like that? What? So. It's law enforcement related because keeping a good uniform is part of the job, right? You got to look professional, got to keep whatever. Steam, this would be the equivalent of holding your thing and pressing the iron on that. Like, steam hot enough to effectively take wrinkles out of something is hot enough to burn you. You were not going to put your hand that close to it. That's how I know this isn't real steam.
Class A's?
Yeah, Tim and I get our accommodation today.
Oh, right, for helping that family last week.
You know, it's crazy. Like a few weeks ago, I thought I was gonna get bounced from the program, and now I'm getting an award from the deputy chief.
It's pretty cool how quickly things can change.
I guess I missed what they're getting a commendation for. Being cool. Time lapse. I haven't skipped an episode. Don't get mad at me for no context. Yeah, but like they weren't there for that. Chen should be getting one. Oh, for the robbery. Remember bank robbery? Lopez is there, slinging lead with dudes with rifles. They roll up like, yo, dog. Maybe they're getting something for that. I'm tracking.
Maybe they gave a sticker to a special needs kid.
Don't gotta open old wounds like that, dog. Don't listen to Juan.
I know you're trying hard with your daughter. At the same time, I can't ignore that you're still a wild card on patrol. So if you want this eval, you gotta show me something different.
What do you mean?
Meaning, we ride together, you and me, and I evaluate you firsthand. But know this, I'm writing this evaluation no matter what happens out there. So if you fall down today, the world will know.
Pretty much never happens ever. Even in smaller departments, there's zero reason for a sergeant to ride around with you. And it's a year review, not a 1 day review. You're not learning anything about an officer in one shift that you didn't or shouldn't have seen the rest of the year that they're working. You work a lot of calls in a year. Like your emotional state will change. What? Nolan was like 2 minutes away from knocking up his ex-girlfriend, and now he's over here like having a midlife crisis after his birthday. Like, it's gonna be different.
It is a big deal.
Technically, it's par for the course for LAPD, but these like M4, like unmolested carry handle M4s over there, pretty dated, but it shows everything you need to know about LAPD. Dated is the trend.
I wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Wait. You remembered my birthday?
I got a Facebook alert.
My birthday's not on Facebook.
Huh. That's weird.
Anyway, lives, important things. I gotta
Grace.
go.
Yeah?
Thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
Right.
That's Slide Dog. I tell you what, this is why no one's getting all the action. He knows what he's got going on. Toyota commercial or not. My boy's a dog. He's got that dog in him. That is accurate. the +5 to the Riz is the uniform, but he's got it going on over here.
You the log officer?
Yeah, Officer Nolan. Crime scene's been processed, but they haven't cleared it just yet. I can have someone call you when they're ready.
Oh, wait. 90% of the job is planning anyway. You know,
No! Ooh, sign the log! So part of running a crime scene, right, is making sure that if somebody's going to cross the tape, somebody that's like, oh yeah, nail me to the table. And until it's released, planning on how to clean it up is not a good reason to cross the tape. Oh. We're going to chalk it up to he's a rookie and doesn't know any better. But this should fall under common sense. But whatever. The writers demonstrate to me at times that creativity is more important than common sense.
you hungry?
Starving.
Half a sandwich?
Agency I was at was probably the third of the size of this. And that we were a large department, and I think the longest you'd leave somebody on something like that's maybe 5-6 hours tops. And even then, you'd literally just get on the radio or your phone that you weren't playing Candy Crush on. And just be like, hey, can somebody give me some relief here real quick? They sign the crime scene log real quick. You pop over, go to QT, get yourself a hot dog, some botulism, and a pee break, and then go right back after it. Like, I don't know.
Always like setting things right, I guess. I walk into a tragedy. When I walk out, everything is as it should be. I know people think it's a weird job for weirdos.
No, I get it.
It's not unrealistic. And yes, crime scene people are interesting bunch. There's definitely like I don't know why I keep wanting to use the word witchy type, but that do like crime scene investigations. But there's definitely like a trend they have right now. And as of filming this, what they say, October 3rd, the 4th, there's this like filter where you can put yourself in like the Scream, like those type of chicks, those type of people that work this. Also those type of guys that work these kind of scenes. They're into, and honestly, they're perfectly suited for it because they can eat the PBJ while doing this. And we need people like that in society. So God bless them.
Well, it's a little early to become my first DUI, but it's Hollywood. Everyone's trying to be someone.
It's not DUI yet.
Nope, but it will be in 3, 2, 1.
Control, 7915. Show us on a possible DUI, 6th and Beverly.
So I know we've had this discussion on the live stream. If you don't get to see them, you should check them out. They're every single Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. But different states have different rules for this. In Texas, you have to be in actual control and operating said motor vehicle on a public roadway. The public roadway is there. It being a motor vehicle is there. We're not really sitting in the car seat, really haven't turned on the vehicle. We're not manipulating the vehicle in any other way than turning it on. In Texas, I would argue this is more of a PI than it is a DWI, but we know that in Florida, being around it and having the means to do it's enough. They also have, is it AWI or AOW, something like that? Yeah, actual physical control. API is what it was. So APC, yes. We can spell. I have dyslexia. But the APC is going to be, again, a charge under DWI, but with very similar circumstances here. I guess California cops let me know if this is DWI or not. I feel like it would fall under APC in the places where that's more of the case. This would be public intoxication or PI here in Texas. Unless you're a DWI officer, in that case, everything's DWI to them. But
Morning, miss. Can I speak to you over on the sidewalk, please?
What? Why?
You just don't look like you should be driving. Have you been drinking a little bit?
Got me there, but I wasn't gonna drive.
Oh, so you were just getting into your car because...
Just grabbing my purse.
Mm-hmm. Your purse that's on your shoulder.
Oh, it is!
Yeah. I'm just gonna run a few tests to make sure you are actually okay to drive.
Kind of sick of tests, to be honest with you.
I know, this will only take a second. So hold your head still, follow my finger with just your eyes.
Pause it. Typically you're going to put them in a standing position. It's going to be hands to your side, feet shoulder width apart, kind of whole nine. They also have to consent to these tests. This is not a compulsory thing. They can choose to not take these tests. There's also a lot of questions we got to ask before this. Are you wearing contacts? Have you had any injuries? Do you have any medical conditions that would predispose you to having a resting nystagmus? Do you know what it is? Not knowing what a nystagmus is a good sign that they don't have a resting nystagmus. But talk about SFSTs a lot. We ended up finding a whole Simpsons episode on it. If it's live, you get to see it. If it's live after the fact, you get to see it. But there's a lot of criteria that go into doing standard field sobriety tests or SFSTs. And Officer Harper here is skipping a few steps. She's kind of putting the cart before the horse, but it would make for a boring episode. So I'm not mad at them skipping these things. But she's currently doing the horizontal gaze nystagmus test, and the stimuli that she is looking for is involuntary twitching of the eyes. You'll notice when she goes from either side of the eyes, she's actually looking at one eye at one time and the other eye at the other, because you're trying to get points. There's a total of 6 plus vertical, which gets complicated. Most people don't care to know, don't need to know. But you should be able to get indicators on both eyes. If you see it on one but not on the other, maybe they're having a stroke. But there's some other issues you might look at. But we haven't really gotten a confirmation that she was drinking. She did say, "You got me there." We didn't get a timeline for how long ago that alcohol had been consumed. We didn't talk about what she ate. We didn't talk about where she came from. Again, didn't talk about head injuries or any of that stuff. So it's important from a realistic law enforcement standpoint, but for the show, I'm going to forgive him for now.
Horizontal nystagmus.
Gaze nystagmus. Pause it. Should have stopped the test before that. There was actually a situation where you will actually stop the test due to safety. A lot of time, one, because you don't want to get people to get hurt, especially when they're drunk and they're moving around. They could get hurt. Probably should have stopped it before. And Gray, who's normally an absolute Chad in this show, failed to be a good safety officer. Part of their job, especially the body cam era, is to actually see the test as a whole. One, you get to see Officer Harper as she demonstrates the test so that you can see it's being done well. The other one is to actually see a better example of the behavior of the suspect themselves while they're conducting the test, because it's very hard to see on body cam. They're going to physically position themselves in a way to do it. But as like a tertiary or a secondary thing outside of scene safety is the catching person. Person starts to get wobbly. Person looks like they're going to fall over. You want to make sure they don't do that, because you do and are responsible for the well-being of that detainee while they're detained. Same thing like when they're arrested. Once you have eroded their constitutional freedom to move about, you now are responsible for their safety. So that's kind of a fail on both of their parts, but whatever.
My dad's coming down for the ceremony.
It's not a ceremony, it's a photo op with the deputy chief.
All right, still, it's a big deal to me. I'm proud of this.
You should be. You know you were texting while driving, sir?
I just looked down at my map for a second while I was stopped at the red light.
Yo, running late. Smiley face, boat.
Yeah, okay, the boat was a typo.
Yeah, it's so hard to focus on texting while you're driving.
License and registration, please.
Pause real quick. So there is a concept called the 7-step approach, and it is almost universally taught now in law enforcement circles, and it's real simple. You approach the vehicle, right? First thing you're going to do is identify yourself as a peace officer, because it is important on the knowingly and intentionally, and I'm about to compel them to give me information or whatever. Very first thing you're going to say, my name's, Officer Lopez with the LAPD, right? I pulled you over for XYZ. It's going to be for texting while driving. I'm going to need to see, they do registration there because they're weird, but that's a California thing. But you're going to simply go through that. That's your first 3 steps. You're already there, right? You're going to go run the person, do whatever. You have a contact officer and a cover officer. Going to do an administrative action, which is issue the citation or the warning. Tell them what they can and cannot do. Hey, if it's a warning, you don't have to do anything. If it's a summons, which means they have to go to court, you're going to go explain that. And you're going to tell them a deuce out and you're going to leave. It's like, I guess, part of cop movie culture to have them sass, and it erodes real life law enforcement interaction. We do body cam breakdowns all the time where it goes into why I pulled you over, which is my least favorite question ever. And then why were you texting and driving? You tell me, officer. Like it opens you up to auditing, really, in my personal opinion. And then it opens you up to potential bias, because you do have required training, on the 7-step approach. It's what's prescribed. And anytime you deviate from that, you're really opening yourself up to that conversation of bias, because they can misconstrue whatever enforcement action you take as bias, right? So, it's boring, so I get why it's not in the show. Lopez is kind of the king of sass, so I kind of get it. But it's not unlawful. I don't think it's unprofessional, but it's not what's taught. And I don't like seeing it, because you have a whole young generation right now, and I'm looking at you, that wants to be in law enforcement, or worse, you have public opinion that'll bless this kind of law enforcement behavior in real life and not realize that this potentially leads to either misconduct or is indicative of someone who's used to engaging in misconduct, doing stupid lectures to victims and stuff like that. Like, act professionally when you're in this environment. It's taught. So it's not like me making it up, or it was just a rule at my department. This is taught almost across the board. So I prefer to see the 7-step approach.
Hey, what's going on with your dashboard there?
Nothing. Came that way.
I got it.
Looks like Trevor's on searchable probation for 11,300.
Narcotics.
Pause it real quick. Other thing we don't do is get in between the suspect vehicle and our vehicle. One, you see a lot of calls where you get rear-ended, right? While your car's parked, you get crushed. Also, the person could back up. From a safety standpoint, you try not to cross between bumpers. That's taught kind of in academy. I would expect a field training officer to know that. Not saying you won't, in a pinch, have a conversation there, but generally probably not going to do that. Same thing with the cover officer there. I'm not saying Wes is doing a terrible job. He's looking in the car. He's looking for something through plain view. He sees that the dashboard cluster is kind of off. And for a newer car, that's kind of sus. That's going to show signs of tampering. So if you're doing what's called interdiction, which the traffic stop was for something completely unrelated to stealing cars. But if you're a trained observer and got the cop eyes, you're like, huh, the center console of your thing's totally smashed on your brand new car. That's kind of weird. You saw it a lot of times back then when cars were more keyless. They would just smash the steering column to get access to it and force the lock over. Very, very common. Yeah, weird. He's got a hammer, and that is not a key in the ignition. It's like a screwdriver with like a wrench. And that was a good sign that this car's potentially newly stolen. So it's not a bad interaction. There's some positioning conversations to happen, but it would look terrible on camera. So I understand why the rookie did it this way.
Sir, step out of the vehicle.
Today.
Step to the back of the vehicle.
Arms in the trunk lid. Spread your legs.
Spread your feet. Pause it. It's spread your feet. Spread your legs has a
horizontal nystagmus.
It's a horizontal nystagmus about it. Yeah, we'll go with that. Oh, again, they're going to see it in the rookie. They're going to start saying it in real life. More people are watching this for expectations for what police conduct should be than real life stuff. So act right.
In there, though. At least a kilo.
Surprise, surprise. Sir, give me your hands.
Kicking it out.
Relax. They'll tear it apart, find out whatever it is.
Something else, you got to think about the safety aspect of leaving Lopez to arrest this guy that's trafficking drugs by herself. Let's get him safe and secured before we start searching the car, right? That's going to be SOPs. I'm not saying there's not some deputy out there somewhere. It's going to be cool with that kind of tactic, but LAPD typically does better than this. Oh. Are you proud of yourself?
You okay? You got a little something on your shirt.
Thanks.
Let's touch it with our hands. Let's touch our face now. He's great at this. Especially if you know it's going to be drug related, we're probably putting gloves on. I guess both in the previous episode and this episode, the budget just wasn't simply there for the gloves. So, and also, man, if you got a direct exposure to narcotics, like you be Narcaning yourself or something, like you would have a lot more going on than just, well, that kind of sucks. Like EMS at least would be getting called. It's an exposure report. You're probably not finishing the rest of your shift because you were now impaired. I'm curious to see how they handle that on the exposure side of it. You're probably getting like a couple days off and then have to come back with like a clean P test before you're even allowed to go back on duty. Not to mention the medical stuff on the back end they're going to have to do with you.
Oh, hey, 3 o'clock. Skateboarder's about to grab that woman's bag.
Swing and a miss.
Tim!
Good job. When you're driving the vehicle, your job is to drive the vehicle. I rear-ended this many cars in my patrol career, and you go code sometimes. It's probably the most dangerous time. You are looking out and about. This gets prevented by not following cars too closely. If I have to look away from where I'm driving, typically I did it with my foot on the brake, not on the gas. It's another easy way to do it is you're just coasting and you're ready to, if I have a knee-jerk reaction, literally, I'm pressing on the brakes already. But when you're riding two, man, there's not a good excuse to not be 10 and 2 and watching what you're doing. Did Chen kind of play Tim on that? Probably, but it's not her responsibility to drive the car because she's not in effective control of the motor vehicle. Tim is, so.
Man, are you hurt?
No, I'm fine. Control 7 Adam 19. Show me on a traffic collision at Melrose and Gardner. He advised it's a city vehicle.
Coming.
Also going to request a supervisor. Also going to request an accident investigator. This is any vehicle accident, even if it wasn't his fault. Let's say this lady rear-ended him. You're going to have somebody else work it. More so than that, there's going to be an administrative investigation. Also, not only is Wes getting tested for stuff, Tim's going to have to immediately pee in a cup and do the whole drug testing. And this is not just policy for police, but almost any employer that allows you to operate machinery in some way, shape, or form. When there is an accident, almost automatically they're going to check to see that you were not under the influence of some sort of drugs or alcohol, because it is an important thing to do. That is especially important in law enforcement. It will happen. They're not showcasing it here. Maybe they do. I don't know. But they like to kind of play it fast and loose with SOPs, and anybody that works in any field where they let you drive should know that.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, fingerprint powder here. Means someone was trying to hold the door shut while someone was trying to push their way in.
So this is where it started, and obviously they got in.
See the blood drops? If the blood drops are circular, that means the victim was standing still.
I'm not saying this guy's sus, but Cop Eyes tells me, one, he shouldn't be touching anything here because they haven't released the scene, right? But two, if somebody has information about what happened here, especially like very specific type of information that is probably only known to the people that were here to begin with, or the people investigating the crime, it's what we call a red flag. You know, I didn't tell Juan that my cookies were missing, and he's like, man, I really hope you get some new cookies. I didn't tell you I had cookies. And he's like, I didn't say anything about cookies, right? Like, there's some forbidden fruit being divulged here that only a select amount of people would know. So he could just be an eccentric guy that is very good at his job. That could also be the case. But Cop Eyes, come on.
They nailed him to the desk.
And they tortured him?
There's only two reasons to torture someone.
You hate their guts.
Or you want them to tell you something.
Or it's a sex thing. It's a three things.
I'm super uncomfortable.
I'm going to count that as an LA thing. I feel like they need a little bit more Jesus. If your brain goes, this guy was nailed to the desk. And that's for your brain go, you know what? No. I take it all back. It's a crime scene thing. I take it all back. If there was ever going to be somebody that's like, oh yeah, nail me to the table. And not like the nail you think they're talking about.
Things just keep getting better.
You two okay?
Yeah, fine.
Having somebody in custody in your car, you're probably not driving to a crime scene for fun. You're also not going to leave a detainee in your car by themselves. You're going to have somebody stay over there. Not saying Sergeant Gray doesn't want to have a conversation with Tim, but this could have easily happened with a phone call. Doesn't need to go drive over there and do it. Not saying it never happens. I'm just saying it's pretty unlikely.
I'll need a collision memo on this by end of shift.
Given the liability implications, you should go to the hospital in order to head off any questions about your fitness to drive. Have them do a full workup and prove that you weren't impaired.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Sorry. You wouldn't be doing it to absolve yourself. The department would be making you do it to make sure that you're not being sus. That is like completely backwards. That's kind of like saying, I got an OIS. Well, I better make sure that I talk to detectives about my officer involved shooting so they know I'm above board. Assuming that you're not immediately getting swept into a car and shoved into a room. Kind of what happened to Nolan when he got into his officer involved. That's like assuming that like that might not happen if you don't do it. Like anytime you're involved in anything like this, the department's the one putting you through the fine-tooth comb. You're not, the burden of evidence is not on you to prove that you didn't do anything wrong. It's really on the department to make sure that you didn't do anything wrong. I'm not saying you can't advocate for yourself, but like if you chose the doctor, yet you chose the lab, there'd be real big issues with the trust. There'd be issues with transparency. I can't even pick where I do a fitness evaluation to apply for a police department. They pick it and they make your appointment for you. So you're not hiring your homie to make sure that you pass and you skip the heart murmur and all that kind of stuff. Like,
I'm so sorry, Tim.
I'll follow our shop back to the garage, transfer our gear to a new one, pick me up at the hospital.
Okay.
Do you want to walk to the hospital? Okay. I don't know why. And how is she gonna go? Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he was a little sauce, you know? I'm tracking.
Hey, what are you doing?
Look to the left.
Okay, look, you don't understand. That kind of computing power and all our data, we are just a few years away from being able to predict crime.
Look to the left.
Okay.
Now, right? Like a couple flying saucers in there.
What? Oh my gosh. I'm high. On drugs. I did drugs.
Not on purpose.
No, I don't do drugs. I've never done drugs before.
Shocker.
So I'm doing an illegal search of a vehicle, right? On a guy that's got a history of drug stuff. I see what I believe to be a kilo of white powdery substance, right? And I am then puffed in the face with something of which I can see a little bit white on my uniform, right? And we keep clean uniforms that we steam while putting third-degree burns in our hands because we're Officer West. And it doesn't occur to you to maybe do an exposure report that something blew into your face. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying it's really amateur hour right now in the LAPD at whatever district they're in right now. Like, bro, the amount of times I pulled hard drugs off of people and this many exposures because you put on gloves, you didn't move very fast, and you treated it like a thing you didn't want in your system versus this dude's over here trying to freebase cocaine out of a guy's Cadillac.
What is it, Sarge?
You got Officer West with you?
Yes, sir.
I'm here.
You'll be receiving the special commendation alone.
From the deputy chief, right.
Why, what happened with Tim?
He's been involved in the incident. He won't be attending.
Copy that.
It's over. It's what it feels like to be dead. And it's not bad.
Look,
Actually,
don't panic. We'll get through this.
look, my dad will be there with the deputy chief.
Give me your weapon.
What? Why?
Because you can't have a gun if you're high.
Pause it. The rule's not have a loaded gun or an unloaded gun. The rule's going to be a firearm. Worse than being in possession of a firearm when you're high, because being on duty while you're high, like, oh, I take it back. There was a guy on a full-on traffic stop, hired in a kite, and he was getting called out.
So was that sergeant that was drunk?
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I just worked with a bunch of squares. Like, was there weird stuff that happened? Sure. But most of it's like somebody sleeping with somebody's wife, and it was stuff like that. This, at least, didn't happen around me. That's crazy. You got exposed. Do an exposure report. Nobody's going to be mad at you. You're a cop dealing with drugs. Do people get exposed? Yes. So what? You don't get to go to your cute ceremony. But what you're not going to do is lie about getting exposed and then go high on duty to go get them. It makes for compelling drama. So shout out to the rookie writers for this, but crazy police misconduct. Lopez is going to the highest level of sussiness. Wes is over here like Tim's wife trying to dodge responsibility. There's enough drama in real policing. You know what I mean? Like, there's enough drama. Why are we manufacturing illegal things? I mean, the only thing going for anybody is Nolan's ability to dodge pregnancies and girlfriends at this point. Like, ain't nothing else going positive for the shift right now.
She got in the Cornell.
And you don't want her to go?
We settled on UCSB.
That's close by.
I went to Cornell. I was at Colgate.
315, we have a 415 shirtless man with a bat.
Drop the bat.
I can't. I need to protect myself.
From who?
Zombies! It's starting. They're everywhere.
Drop the bat or we will shoot you.
Not an unrealistic delusion and like, you know, a certain part of LA. Zombies are real there, you know. I do like Gray's orders here. Put it down or we'll shoot you. Now, it's not, if he just doesn't put it down right then and there, we're smoking the dude. Probably needs to make some sort of provocative gesture with it. But shout out to Gray being no nonsense. He's not trying to pull a Nolan and like whip out his baton and swing at this guy. Shout out to he's too old for that.
Hey, I get it. Infection moves fast, but we can protect you. Okay, our car is armor plated. They won't be able to get in. Hey, it's a hell of a lot safer than being on the street. But first you have to put down the bat. Put your hands behind your back, palms together, spread your feet.
On the spread your feet. Harper knows how not to sexually harass the detainees. Shout out to her.
Any guess as to when they're going to release the scene?
No, it's getting kind of ridiculous. I mean, you got a job to do, and I got a birthday to salvage.
It's your birthday?
Yeah. Control, this is 7L9 at the Grand Avenue homicide. Any word when they're going to clear this crime scene?
Sorry, homicide's all backed up.
Well, can I? No, it's Elroy.
Of the things on your person to lose outside of your firearm, especially in California, because the implications in California are kind of sus. That is the most expensive piece of equipment you have on your person. That's like a $6,000 or $7,000 radio. On top of that, he's communicating over official police lines. Like, you're not just gonna let somebody. I mean, I know it's the rookie, and what was it during the like fake nuke scene? They're over here having like I love yous. Could you maybe on like a talk around channel? They do have like back channels you can go have discussions with it. Typically, they're not observed by dispatch, but this is happening 0% of the time. I would argue -5% of the time. Are you handing your radio to non-sworn staff to go have a conversation with your dispatcher? Like, are there situations where it could happen? Maybe. Just not this one. Do better. Come on, writers.
Out of every orifice. So are you still planning that trip to Borneo? Hey, hold on.
Definitely not having that big of a conversation.
No, I'm looking at some blood outside the warranted area, leading to another part of the building.
Do you want me to alert homicide detectives?
Yeah, and forensics too. And let Sergeant Gray know the security guard they were thinking was in on it. They can cancel the APB.
Bingo.
We found him.
The likelihood that within a stone's throw, it's not even that, it's a stone skip, away from said locked crime scene, that there will be a whole deceased body, pretty low. Not zero, but pretty low. Especially somewhere like LA. They got to be like subject matter experts in working these type of calls because they get them all the time. And I'm not saying complacency can't happen, but don't we feel dumb letting the random cleaning guy walk around our scene that is now having to be reopened? And we're like, well, I'll kind of let the crime scene cleaning guy hang out.
If it's a murder,
the double homicide.
When that happens, how many cops are there when they're putting up the crime scene before the bodies come out?
In a city like LAPD, hundreds, probably dozens at least.
No one noticed the thumbprint. Like nobody bothered to look back there for anything. And unlock.
And even in crime scene, they're gonna blacklight it.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'd have been like, "Oh, weird glimmer," like you know what I mean? Like even the security sweep of the building, you'd have seen the body unless it just got put there. But that would be weird because I had to get close to it. If he was hidden in a ceiling tile or something, I'd have blessed that, right? Like they checked everywhere but the roof. Or he's like in a sealed bag. Something weird, right? Like it's not an obvious place to look because we do not just primary, but we do secondary sweeps. And a secondary sweep, you're looking at places. Primary is like big open areas, like Juan's sitting in a couch right now. That's a big, obvious place. Now, under the couch, of which there's not like a lot of space, a couple inches there, the likelihood that he's hiding under there is pretty low. So I'm going to check all the obvious spaces. Well, now that I've gone through everything, now I'm looking in cabinets. It would take him a little longer to dump all the dishes out. Underneath the mattress, that did take a little bit longer for that. In the attic, that'd take a little bit longer. A secondary sweep's looking for all the creative spots. There are times where you do a tertiary sweep for giggles, but like you're just like, I don't know, maybe he's maybe he's in the walls, something. But you're gonna try to leave as few stones unturned as possible. And a whole dead body just laying out there, that'd be hard to miss. But I'm not a subject matter expert. I've never worked a crime scene. We actually it was like a 2-day like crime scene course. It was pretty cool. Where you learn how to like take pictures of your crime scene and like how they want you to do it and like sectioning stuff off. And I found a few dead bodies in my time. It's not hard. They don't. That's the one nice thing about them. They don't go anywhere.
This place really needs some calming music, like monks chanting or those wall songs.
No.
The cocaine that's on it, no one's gonna.
Hey man, just give it a lick. Level you out, dog. A lint roller would do you some here. A little bit OxyClean, something.
He got some powder on his face, white powder, and
You need to find out what drug he was exposed to.
the guy we stopped at Pryor's for PCP.
PCP is fat soluble. I mean, that stays in your system for a lifetime.
Exactly, and if you can hallucinate anytime, you can't carry a gun. It's an automatic retirement. He'll be off the force.
I'll rush the tests.
Wait, you don't have to report this, right?
Yes, I do.
By HIPAA laws from
No!
Good.
No! Miss me with that. Oh, it's HIPAA laws. I can't tell anybody that you're now committing a felony. But so, and just to push back on this, right? And some doctor come at me in the chat. Dr. Mike, if you're out there, tell me if I'm off base for this. So I have a kid that comes in, right? And the kid comes in and it's like, why do you have bruised genitals? Oh, but HIPAA violation. I can't tell anybody because I took an oath. No, it's a crime, dog. You're obligated to notify somebody. This guy's randomly freebasing PCP. If you can even do that, I feel like you have an obligation. Like, I get it if he's got like an STD or something like that, but that ain't hurt nobody, right? I would argue even if it was like a pretty dangerous communicable disease, that's between him and his employer. I get it. But like, I got beef with this. I get the no snitching clause, and I'm here for the players out there playing the game. But in the same way that it would be a conflict of interest to let a surgeon keep doing surgeon stuff if they're over here taking PCP in their free time, probably don't let a law enforcement officer skate on. I think the licensing board will be very understanding if it happens to be in this weird gray area. I'll allow the doctors at me in chat. I just got issue with that. That is wild. That is a wild take.
Been talking to Lopez about it already.
That's what I mean. You're already doing the HIPAA violation, if that's the case, right? But like, I have issue. I got mad issue with this. That's crazy.
Imagine being able to stop crime before it happens. Mind-blowing concept that I've actually sat with for a few days.
Hey!
I pitched it.
What are you doing here?
Nothing. I'm not following. What were you saying?
Nothing, just some sci-fi movie he won't stop.
Bro, Lopez was just trying to get a hit. That's why she's keeping it on the down low. She's like, I'm not trying to make it weird because I know you bat for the other team, but like, can your girl get a sniff? Like, what are we doing, man? This is a wild police misconduct.
Talking about, go wait by the elevator.
Tim, or hey, what happened to cop eyes, dog? You can't see a dude tripping balls. He's like, that's West. This seems normal.
Everything looks normal.
Great.
People get in accidents, even cops.
What do they call it when a doctor has an accident?
Malpractice.
We're both held to a higher standard, for good reason. How is she?
The CT scan came back negative for internal bleeding. We'll keep her overnight to make sure she's okay. She asked for you when they first brought her in. She doesn't blame you. Go talk to her.
Thanks.
Maybe you don't talk to the lady that's likely going to be part of your internal investigation for this accident. Because it could be, say, misconstrued as you potentially trying to pressure said person into not filing a complaint or not doing whatever. It'd be like if someone filed a complaint on you and you just say, I'm going to give them a visit. I'm just going to stop by their house, and make sure they're doing okay because they thought I beat them up.
Jen did literally do that thing you just said.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. God, dude, this show. Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, he filed a complaint. He said, "Oh, let me check up with him." God, I forgot about that. That's the dog guy, right? He ended up killing his neighbor or whatever.
I will make you my personal project. Nice. Kind of retro, very 1990s Rampart scandal. I'm sorry, man. In today's LAPD, especially my house, we don't threaten people. Not even the murders.
Hey, results matter, baby. Whatever. The rule book doesn't matter as long as the end result is good.
Hospital bills will be covered by the city. So will the repairs to your vehicle.
You just think that makes everything all right?
Mike, stop.
No, it's okay. He has a right to be angry.
And have a right to sue.
We're not gonna sue. He didn't mean to hit me, did you?
No,
it's irrelevant.
Ma'am.
At least where I work, it could be different in other places. If a city vehicle was involved in an accident, regardless of who was at fault, and Texas is an at-fault state, so in this instance, he failed to stop. Thus, the front of his car hit the back of her car, and in an at-fault state, that means you're at fault, Tim. We're for sure paying out on that. Same thing, hospital bills, all that stuff, because paying for a hospital visit and paying for the damages for the vehicles and all that stuff is a lot cheaper than paying for a lawsuit, right? There's nothing criminal with getting into an accident, even if it does lead to some sort of punitive damage. We have insurance policies for that. Most cities are actually self-bonded. Basically, they pull a big pool of money, put it into an account, and then they will they make pulls off of that account to pay out for stuff like this. So it's like $1 million or something like that they'll hold basically, and they'll leverage money off of that. But the bankers and the pencil pushers have their way of doing it. I think it's actually required to become a police department is to have it's not an endowment, but it basically acts like that. I don't know. Some city manager explained it to me. Or explained it better than I did.
I don't remember seeing brake lights.
Uh-huh.
Can you take a look?
Yeah, when I have time.
You've got time now. This is important. Officer Bradford is a 12-year veteran. He's been wounded 5 times in the line of duty. He deserves your respect, not whatever macho crap this is.
Pause it. Any officer shouldn't be talking to another officer like that, and nobody cares what your accolades are. Doesn't matter if you're Chris Kyle or whatever. Everyone gets treated the same in an investigation like this. More so when you're a rookie in field training, you just shut your mouth. One, she shouldn't be out by herself anyways, but it is what it is. And Chen out here being Chen. She didn't do anything wrong so far outside of acting out of place, and that is a thing.
Sir.
Okay. Let's take a look.
Oh, tail lights weren't on.
How can you tell?
The brake lights didn't work because someone pulled out the contacts.
Could that have happened during the accident?
No, these were pulled on purpose.
Why would they do that?
Insurance scams. See it all the time.
So the only issue with that, at fault state, this is Texas we're talking about, doesn't matter. Brake lights not working doesn't change the fact that there was an obstacle in front of you that you failed to avoid. They're going to assume that you're responsible for the movement of your vehicle, not for others. Same thing happens with a piece of debris will fly off of somebody's car. Now, if it doesn't hit the ground, you could potentially charge that car and make them liable for it. But the second it bounces off the ground, It is now debris. And if you hit it, that's on you, even if you're already going 85 miles per hour. The issue I have with him finding the brake lights and doing all that stuff is he didn't document any of it beforehand. We have no proof. It's also a civil proceeding, right, as far as liability is concerned, because there's no way they're going to try to claim like improper brake lights or something weird like that. So it's neither here nor there. But on the internal investigation side of it, they might be a little bit more lenient if they believe and could prove to a certain degree that there was some scamminess happening. Maybe. But the way they went about it's kind of weird.
And all kinds of scams.
What do you mean?
Powder's red phosphorus. You know, the stuff on the tip of matches.
Why would they have that?
Well, if they're not cooking meth, arsonists use it to set fires. Harder to trace than gasoline, and you can make a fuse with it.
The car was rigged.
What?
The brake lights weren't connected. This accident wasn't your fault.
No wonder I reacted so slowly. The leads were purposely disconnected?
Yeah, and there's more. Sarah had arson materials in the back of her car. Clearly, she's a bit of a Renaissance scam artist.
Let's go talk to her.
No! That's a huge conflict of interest. I know they're like allergic to it, but if the writer's room just was like, hey, can I get another officer en route to investigate? Like, it's not hard. Bro, LAPD is one of the largest departments in the country. Literally. Go ask high-ass Officer West to investigate this. Man, what are we doing? Because having an officer that turns out to be high is still less of a problem than you harassing and threatening, under the color of your authority, a criminal charge against the person who you rear-ended in the hopes that you don't get in trouble. This is like a layup for a defense attorney to be like, well, I feel like this is malicious prosecution. Is there a benefit for you to find her guilty of something? Is that a conflict of interest? Should senators be able to trade stocks in a thing that they're about to go regulate? You know what I mean? Like, this isn't rocket science. Like, what are we doing here?
You rigged the car.
What? No, I didn't.
Dash cam says different. So does a physical inspection of your vehicle.
You searched my car. I didn't give you permission.
We don't need permission once it's been involved in an accident.
I don't think you were trying to get rear-ended by a police car. Bad luck, honestly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sarah, this is serious. Your vehicle's full of evidence, all admissible against you.
It's not mine.
And whose is it? Your boyfriend? The guy who was threatening to sue me earlier?
No.
What's his name?
I'm not going to tell you that.
So what are you talking about? Do you have a warrant for any of this? I'm just going to grab your chart because that's not a HIPAA violation. What are we doing? An actual HIPAA violation. Shout out to the bro. The writers swing for the fences while standing in the batter's box and are confused why they never make contact with the ball. This is so far away from how a investigation's supposed to happen. This is kind of like, you know, your daughter gets cheated on by her boyfriend, right? So you're gonna drive out of state to her college with your uniform on, completely out of a place that you have jurisdiction, and investigate not a crime. Infidelity's not criminal if you're not married, right? Or whatever. Even if you are, it's civil. You're going to start kicking in people's doors. And you know what? That would be more legal if you actually had a crime that, I don't know, man. All of this is crazy illegal. Code and criminal procedure dictates how you're supposed to do this. There's another side of this as far as like it being a conflict of interest. If let's say these two get in an accident, two law enforcement vehicles get hit, right? Or in the Karen Reed case, there's officers present when another officer dies. But another agency would step in because it's a conflict of interest, right? We're not allowed to check ourselves and find nothing wrong, right? Same situation here. We're not grabbing people's charts. Dog, this is crazy inappropriate. Nolan, save us.
Emergency contact, Mike Garvey, and a phone number.
Just what we need for a background check. So you don't go anywhere while we're running it.
She's in custody for what? What is she detained for? Having bad mechanic work? And we just knew it was phosphorus to touch. Did you taste test it? Well, that's how you do stuff here. I remember the meth pipe, Chen. Don't act like we forgot that. I'm getting stressed, man. This isn't Thursday. I was supposed to be safe from this. This isn't even real policing. This is stressing me out.
If I could just talk to the IT guys.
No talking to anyone.
But look, maybe I am high, but these are still solid.
Oh, his uniform's clean.
I think you should interview him alone.
I'm wondering if it's just like a placebo effect that he thinks he's high. He's just having psychosis. I don't know if that's worse from a judgment standpoint, a personnel standpoint, than him actually being high. But the behavior's kind of wild. Lopez is already on strike 15 of seeing something bad with the kid and trying to cover it up because somehow this prevents her from getting promoted for, holding other officers accountable. But there's a whole other different conversation as far as the way that we perceive good policing or what we want to see out of law enforcement. If they were painting Lopez as a supervillain for covering up gross police misconduct, I'd get it. I'd be a little more sympathetic to the right. We're at propaganda at this point. If we're trying to paint them both as being sympathetic characters, when really this is a gross, heinous, betrayal of trust. That higher standard you're supposed to be held to. We should just give mulligans to meth heads. I don't know. Weird.
Also, how many hours at this point has it been that they haven't gone out on a single other call? No one's bothered to check on the fact that they're not working. They're just hiding in room closets.
Especially at LAPD, dude. That's crazy. This guy's in custody. Where's the arrest report?
Yeah.
Is that done? Yeah. Okay, so the arrest report is done and approved. Why aren't you in service? Why are you still at the hospital? Well, questions would be asked.
I think you should interview him alone.
Why?
I swear if he says you should go in there alone because it'd be a conflict of interest for me to go in there, and he's just now thinking about that, bro, straight to jail.
He doesn't know you were in the car with me. His guard won't beat up him.
Nope. Sailing right past that. I want an accomplice.
Do you and Sarah live together?
Yeah, why?
Do you ever use her car?
What difference does it make? She was rear-ended.
Yes, sir. If you could just answer the question. Do you ever use her car?
No.
Never?
Never.
So you didn't disconnect her taillights to commit insurance fraud?
Nope.
So, for a second here, let's imagine we're going to go down the misconduct train, right? But we want to perform a good interview. You don't bury the lead and go straight to accusing them of the insurance fraud. You'd think, in an unmirandized situation here, which clearly we are, to talk to them a little bit about it. You fixed the car up, Annie. It's the last time you guys what's the Carfax on the car? How long have you owned the car? Did you guys have any issues with it? Stuff like that. Don't go straight to this is a terrible interview. Clearly not Detective Chen here. Bro, if I genuinely tasked a random person in our Discord to conduct this interview, I feel like they'd do a better job. Really good channel, Iwu, Everyday. Gosh, I cannot remember what it ever stands for. It's got the little wolf in it. Does an excellent job of breaking down interviews from good actual cops that know what they're doing. None of them look like this. It's weird, but whatever. They don't teach that in the academy.
I know.
Let's confront him.
You're trying to intimidate me, but it's not gonna work. Because I'm gonna get a lawyer. I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna sue you and the entire department.
Little advice. If you can only afford one retainer, I'd start with a criminal lawyer. You're gonna need that one first.
Sorry, I didn't get more out of him.
Don't be. The point was to wind him up.
Why is he in custody? Why is he in custody? What proof do you have? How are you tying him to the car? Him having a criminal history is not enough. We're putting the cart way before the horse here. That's him showing up at her bedside's not enough, man. What are we doing? And then him getting involved, like pure intimidation, like that criminal attorney's got a layup on his hands. So
you're gonna follow your daughter to college. That's not crazy at all.
This way, I am close by if she needs me.
Don't do it. My parents barely let me out of their sight. Drove me crazy.
You transporting two different people for two very different crimes in the same cars, not going to say zero, but astronomically low, especially in a department like LAPD that has the resources they have. You would have had another unit there pretty quickly. That is kind of wild.
And you'd be at the nexus of it all, dispatching units to pre-crimes, and you'd use a cop here to help you.
Jackson, we're supposed to be handling calls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go now. Officer Lopez, just one quick thing. Sure, what's up?
It's about Officer West.
Yeah?
I just wanted to say that he is such an insightful thinker. I mean, did you know he was full of ideas?
I did not. He's usually much quieter. Nice to see you now.
That tracks for a dispatcher. I think it was funny that they called out like you should be working calls because, as Juan pointed out earlier, 1,000%. Also, like they slow rolled the hell out of those two arrests on Baseball Bat Boy. And maybe there's some like time dilation stuff happening here, like everything's kind of happening simultaneously, but.
He's agreed to kill some guy's wife for a cut of the life insurance policy.
And when is this murder supposed to happen?
Later today.
Or that's a very contrived story that she wrote up just to get you to leave her alone for a little bit so she can get away. Y'all wouldn't know the difference because you're basically making it up as you go. You're too invested in the result. And because of that, you're clearly being blinded. Jeez. We're doing great. Where's Nolan in all this? Come save us. Oh, yeah, with the dead guy. You got Kinky murdered, you know?
Ta-da! Happy birthday.
Thank you. That is extremely thoughtful.
The guy randomly smuggling Malaysian solvent that's to clean crime scenes and won't leave the crime scene that just became live again and happens to be an expert in weird, kinky, get nailed to the desk kind of stuff, right? That hands you a open thing to consume as a law enforcement officer, probably a big no. They used to have the law enforcement special back in my time on the street at Starbucks. You know what they made it special? It was called bleach. Twinkie and the wrapper? Maybe I'd chance it. Twinkie handed to me from this guy? Out of the wrapper? I'll have it when I get home. I don't want to spike my blood sugar. You can be polite.
What if the bookcase didn't fall down in the struggle? What if they moved it so they could look inside the vent?
Lawyers like this guy, they deal in a lot of cash. Maybe they knew he kept it hidden here and they tortured him to find it.
Well, it wasn't hidden in the vent. This thing's coated with dust. Hasn't been touched in years. Must have kept looking. Moved next door into the raw space.
I don't think they ever found it.
How do you know?
Because they're back.
You got a gun? Get the blast in.
That's not gonna hold him for long.
Oh, we're not going to shoot him through the door? Bro, if Nolan's not bringing a baton to a knife fight, he's pretty useless. You remember? Was it Tim saved him post almost dying from a highly communicable disease? Pops out of an ambulance. Ketamined up, you know? Drop this lady. Nolan's over here just hanging out. Because I'll be honest, having shot a shotgun like that before, without looking down the sights, because looking down the sights is basically just a good way to get yourself a black eye. I'm not saying they couldn't connect, but it's pretty dubious. You're also taking a lot of the I'm not saying 12 gauge doesn't suck out of that, but still. You got like 60 rounds on you. Like, you at least spook them. You know what I mean? Likely that armed security guard probably still has bullets on him. Well, I might have a Glock. You got an MMP. Let's take the bullets out. He'd be like, hey, dude, just start pulling the bullets out. Just load this magazine. Something. I don't know. He's a creep. He probably knows how to do it. It's whatever. So anyways, they started blasting. Right there. Bang. Started blasting. I swear if he solves this with a brick, I'm pissed. If he solves it with a brick, we've given up. We've escaped reality. We have fully left the Matrix. Let's see it. I mean, he had to shoot one of them. I just don't know why you don't just turn the corner and blast him, you know?
Also, magic brick that instant knocks out.
That's what I mean, dude. Like, it's kind of a broad hit. Like, I mean, if you got him with, like, the corner of it, you know, maybe. But, like,
It's not knocking him out.
and also, like, even solid bricks like that, it just dried and pressed stone. But, like, or mud, really. It's not even stone, mud. But, like, it hurt. I don't know. It's instant knockout. And dudes are slinging buckshot at like point blank range. I just have beef. He had the ammo to win the gunfight. Just to win the gunfight. What's with the pageantry? I'm gonna hit him with a brick so we don't kill him, and then like I guess wing the dude that's actively trying to murder you and old boy here.
Also using old boy as your
Distraction. Yeah. I mean, shout out to crime scene cleanup. He's out here crushing. He had the most realistic, as good as he got.
Freeze! LAPD! Turn around! Drop your weapon! Drop your weapon! Keep your hands up! Sidestep to the right! Keep going! Get down on the ground! On your stomach! Hands out to the side! Now don't move! Mike Garvey, you're under arrest for attempted murder.
No. You're getting an accident, waiting on drug tests to come back. You're not getting back in a patrol car. You're not getting back on duty. At least they don't know Officer West needs an IA investigation. Luckily for him, his dad's the head of IA, so I guarantee you, him incidentally inhaling cocaine and trying to wipe it under the rug never comes out. Law enforcement's messy. Don't get me wrong. There are times where you're kind of flying by the seat of your pants, but there's like, not rules of thumb, general orders and standard operating procedures that have to be observed. Especially when you talk about vehicle accidents, accidental exposures, uses of force, how you have the lawful authority to detain or not detain or search or not search. Like, so many of these things got glossed over just for the sake of drama. Absolutely, if I was ignorant of the law and didn't like fear being put on the Brady list or something like that for just lying about all this, maybe, dude. But it just, all of the events could have occurred. They just would have required more officers to investigate, because Tim could just be sitting there stressing about his job while, you know, the guys from 19-2 fly in and go help him work this weird fraud case, because she's internationally known on Interpol for doing fraud in a bunch of different countries. And then it's going to be fine because they're like, oh, they got a hit, fly us in, whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, there's ways to have made it more like legally, like, and you know what I mean? Like, you go undercover as a nurse to try to question her a little bit because you can't put her into custody, because we like play within the rules. And I feel like there would be more drama than less.
Shit, look, I know it's a lot. Let it be a wake-up call. Getting arrested might be the best thing that ever happened to you.
Low blood sugar.
I'm not an alcoholic. You were stumbling drunk at 10 a.m. I had a doctor's appointment at 9.
Bad news?
Not a good day for tests. My biopsy came back. Stage 3 breast cancer.
Oh, aren't we proud of
The
ourselves?
bars across the street, I just wanted to feel less. I wasn't gonna drive. I would never hurt anybody. .07. Just under the limit.
We're gonna release you pending DA review.
Really?
Yeah. You deserve a little good news today.
Thank you.
Wasn't. So the reason she was drinking at 9 o'clock in the morning, got a test that showed that she had stage 3 cancer, blew into the intoxilizer, .07.
Because it took so damn long to get.
I was about to say she was drunk.
Well, they took 18 hours.
I know. So the reason I'm saying this, so alcohol metabolizes, right? And so, and I had this happen to me where I knew, and I even put it in my report. There was 4 hours that went by. I had to take a guy, found him asleep on I-30 during Super Bowl Sundays 2019. One of our boys, Ice hadn't gotten him yet, right? So one of our boys just hanging out and fully asleep in the shoulder. And I show up, car's running, foot on brake. And I was like, oh, man. Wake him up, you know. Está borracho? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, we'll get out of the car. We go, I spent 3 hours in the hospital waiting for a nurse to do a blood draw. I had taken him out of handcuffs. I asked him if he wanted something to eat. I was like, tengo hambre? He's like, yeah, see. And I went and found him some food in the break room. Shout out to MCA. Looking at y'all. Saw the second quarter, saw the halftime show, saw the third quarter, and it was the fourth quarter. And I'm like, bro, don't even do my blood draw at this point. This man's stone cold sober. And they did it. And he probably came back 0.05, 0.03. But in my report, it showed when I got him, he had all the indicators, agreed that he was drunk, did all the thing. But so much time had passed that you do the math, per his body weight, per where he was at the time that I made contact with him, the likelihood that he was over 0.08, pretty high. Same situation here. Should she be going to jail? Do you have some level of discretion as to whether or not you decide to make this a PI and a ticket and she goes versus a DWI, which would make it to where she can't drive and all this other stuff? Absolutely. And I think that's the good point to talk about here. But they don't get into that because drama. We're going to rug pull it that she's got cancer, so crime's cool.
How are you feeling?
My head is pounding and my throat's on fire.
Sounds like you're coming down off whatever it was. Hey, I was looking for Nolan. Since I'm running into you.
Not PCP, please, not PCP.
It wasn't PCP. Or much of anything, really. It was horse vitamins and caffeine.
Does that mean that guy went to jail for multivitamins and caffeine?
Potentially. All I'm saying is, if you don't test it right then and there, my boy's smuggling caffeine pills mixed with ivermectin, you know? Screw it. Prison.
It was bunk, but he's been high as a kite all day. An allergic reaction can mimic some of those symptoms. And from there, the power of suggestion did the rest.
He got high off a multivitamin and caffeine, as I suspected, because the plot. Hallucinating being high, probably still a red flag if you're in law enforcement. Because you can hallucinate anything at that point.
I mean, it's happened to a bunch of officers with fentanyl.
Trust me, I'm with you on that. Don't get me started on the fentanyl discussion, but that's a whole bit of sussy-wussy if you really get into it. But hallucinating symptoms can be bad. It's the reason why you can't be a pilot if you've had seizures. It's the reason why, we have to trust that you make good judgment calls. And in a bang-bang play, you're going to make the right call, or you're at least not risking not being in the present state of mind to be able to make that bang-bang call, because we're giving you the power to literally kill people. What more sacred an oath and a right are we I don't know. Just whatever. We'll finish the damn episode.
This man is asleep at the wheel.
I mean, dude, Gray, I like you, but I feel like this is on you. You let too much stuff slide. Jeez Louise. Hey, what are you guys doing? Because dispatch isn't going to do it. That's you. Big fella, you're the supervisor.
Wasn't no one welfare checking Nolan after his radio's been...
Nope. Oh, they're just standing over it. Now 3 dead bodies.
Still nobody knows that any of that happened.
Nope. He's not even concerned. He's got an officer that's involved in a double OIS.
I hope I can become half the parent you are.
Laying it on pretty thick, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Have fun at the ceremony.
Will do.
I'm not a video production specialist. I happen to work for one. But you remember back in the good old days with Roswell, that you'd put some light rock in the background to add some drama to the scene? Some guy's choking on this lead vocal here, and it's kind of killing the vibe for all these scenes. I'm not to critique. I'm sure it's a wonderful artist, but let the moments be the moments. You don't need the weird soundtrack. Good sentiment. I think Gray, though he's asleep at the wheel and letting all his police misconduct go and doesn't care at all that he's got an officer that just got involved in an OIS. It's whatever. We're just going to assume nobody knows. He just left Nolan there to die on an overtime shift. On his birthday, 8 hours too late. On the thing was, hour tops.
Today was fun. I mean, not fun, but fun. Fun.
Well, fun hasn't stopped yet. I'm going to introduce you to Nell.
What?
Whoa! My boy gets in a double OIS and we don't talk about it?
It's Nolan.
Oh, I'm getting lightheaded.
Tuesday for him.
Also, he's just homies with the crime scene cleanup guy now. I like his character.
That's trauma bonding, Josh. That's what that is. Definition of trauma bonding. They just hid the bodies, told no one. Didn't want to do the paperwork.
Play this.
Also, those commendations, I just looked it up, that they got were for the football coaching situation.
What?
Yeah. For community policing. So it was.
You made the joke about the stickers.
Made the joke about the stickers. They literally ruined this lady's life.
I have held gangbangers while they were bleeding in a box to save their lives, to try to catch the people that stabbed them. Held parents while kids were dying. Rushed to catch the killer of people. All that kind of cool stuff. The only time I got it, I got it twice. Crossbow boy, I got a commendation for, but the only time I ever made the news was for giving a sticker to a special needs kid on my last month of patrol. And I've never been so bitter for a congratulation in my life. We don't do it for the thank yous. We do it for the kiddos, but that's what.
You also get a write-up for Crossbow boy?
Oh, no, they threatened me with one. Oh, okay. Yeah. Fortunately, cooler heads prevailed, and because none of my supervisors, they were like, we might go to TMPA for this. Are you really writing up a rookie for tossing his taser after saving a dude's life, after putting himself in harm's way and tackling a dude so he didn't kill himself with a crossbow? They're like, yeah. And they're like, good luck with that. We're going to encourage this guy to fight that. And he's like, oh. Shout out to Will Johnson. He's still out there shaking a leg. He saw better. Yeah, he was like, you know what? Little baby Josh deserves a pat on the back. We'll just talk to him about the whole taser thing. I think he did good. Everyone got commendations that was there. I did all the hard work. Sergeant got commendations. FTO got commendations. They didn't do nothing.
Is this for me?
Did I miss it?
Guess what? What is that? What is this?
Surprise.
You know, a year ago, I never would have believed this would be my life. I mean,
Skip.
these beginnings are rare.
Skip. Nope,
And-
not doing that. Skip. You've done enough to me today, rookie. No. Skip.
To us.
Okay, we're good.
You want to cheers, my buddy?
Y'all hurt me enough today. How was the rookie? You guys like watching me suffer? I do it twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Where real cops hurt my feelings due to misconduct. And sometimes people decide to be the hero. I like the end bit. They seem well suited. Crime scene guy and the dispatcher lady. That's not inaccurate. We're just gonna overlook everything else because apparently, if you don't get caught, it doesn't matter. And for real though, like even if it's just an email, just hey, what do you think about this idea? I'm here for it. I just want to see better for this. They do a good job of making the show entertaining. They just do like a wildly bad job of showing anything remotely legal or ethical or moral in any way, shape, or form. If you're a young rookie out there, please don't do any of this kind of stuff. If you want advice on it, go check it out on our Discord. There's 2 different ways you can get there. Either by becoming a member through our Patreon group or a member through our YouTube channel. But the easiest way to support this type of content, if you want to see more of it, is to just simply like and subscribe. And that gets more people to see it. Or if you want to make Producer One happy, who's the only reason why you get to see this, you can do so by buying merch. Got some cool hats. We got some cool mugs that have more than one thing on it. You here? More hats. I'm wearing more shirts here. We got more shirts. Here's the parade of merch. You got it this long in this episode. Parade of stuff. Anyways, we love you all. Hopefully Bill's coming back soon so I get to not suffer by myself. Juan just gets to laugh at me and listen to this in silence. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. So I had a solo trip on the pain train that is the rookie. We will see you guys.
You've incapacitated Chen and Tim.
Right.
You've incapacitated West.
Right.
Lopez episode.
Yeah.
Lopez gets to have a whole little arc where she goes and investigates the insurance fraud for Tim, and then she gets to gloat about how she solved his case.
Yeah, you know,
Cleared his ass.
the lady gives a guilty admission to the doctor. Now the doctor is like, well, I have this information. I can't do it. Text Nolan. Nolan with his dead phone doesn't get the text message. Finally charges it because the creepy guy's got himself. Oh, I got to tell somebody. And in the middle of having that conversation, shots fire while they're like, you could have had the events occur without violating the law. Like, I just
Nolan learns a lesson about letting random people cross the police.
Yeah, exactly.
Homeboy turns out to maybe be involved in the crime, pulls a gun on him or something.
Yeah, I just.
You still get the gunfight, but Alan Tudyk gets something more fun to do.
I like this character.
Yeah.
I think he was a fun character, but reach out to us. We're ready. I genuinely would not even charge y'all for it. Just let me see the script.
I have a degree in this.
That's what I mean, dude. Like it's, I legit, for just simply credit, and you can say we ignored him. I'm fine with that.
I'll take. You give us an actor, even a B-list actor.
To somebody. Give me West. Give me somebody.
I'll take West. I'll take.
It just kills me because they could have the drama. They can have their cake and eat it too. It'd be lawfully accurate. You make sure that you're observing everything so you're not setting some sussy wussiness off and let it go crazy off the rails, you know?
You'd have more drama. Because you have...
That's what I mean. Yes.
To actions, actual limitations to your character.
Yes.
They have to work through.
Man.
Scooby Doo shit. This is hijinks.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Yakety sax playing.
Dude.
That's what Wes was doing this whole episode.
This is wild. And I don't know. In the same way that they made all the drama about the OIS with Nolan when he had his, let it be that his dad's disappointed with him because he didn't raise no junkie, and you know what I mean? Like, let it be the exposure report, and he's freaked out because if it is PCP, he got medically cleared for nothing. He just minded his own business being a good cop, and here he is being worried that 1, he's got brain damage for the rest of his life, and 2, that he's losing the career he works on. Like, that's drama. You know? He's having a heart-to-heart with Chen while she's trying not to. I don't know, man. I just play the damn clip. We'll finish the thing.